Thank you, Chairman McHenry. Appreciate the opportunity to have this bill in front of this committee, and I look forward to the great work that we are doing here today. Regarding H.R. 1579, the Accredited Investor Definition Review Act, small businesses, entrepreneurs, and emerging companies are really what drive the American economy. We meet with them in our districts and see firsthand the benefits that their dreams, their innovations, and hard work provide in our communities. And that is on both sides of the aisle. We all have those folks in our district. Over the last 4 months, our committee has heard from everyday Americans, not just the elite or the wealthy or the accredited investor, but those who have succeeded despite rules that have put them at a disadvantage. We heard from women like Omi Bell from right here in Washington, D.C., who founded Black Girl Ventures, which is an organization focused on providing women of color with access to community networks, capital, and capacity building to develop and grow their businesses. She was so dynamic and such a thrill to have in front of our committee. Omi testified before our subcommittee on capital markets that her mother invested $10,000 of her own retirement to support her first business venture. Yet her mom was not considered an accredited investor, but someone who wanted to support her daughter's ambitions. We also heard testimony from David Olivencia, CEO and co-founder of Angeles Investors, who, while earning his MBA from Notre Dame, learned about startups and how early-stage investments could lead to outsized returns. And he said, I want some of that. I'm in. Unfortunately, David didn't qualify as an accredited investor because, in his own words, he had not inherited wealth from his family. The stories of people like Omi and David are all too common in the investment world. While innovators often turn to their local communities for support, they often lack the ability to reach those mega investors who can make an instantaneous huge impact. And under current law, accredited investors are allowed to purchase securities that haven't been registered with the SEC. These types of offerings carry more risk than public offerings, no doubt. In theory, individuals with enough financial sophistication or net worth can bear the potential losses that may be associated with these types of securities. While my bill, Accredited Investor Definition Review Act, would require the SEC to incorporate additional, quote, certifications, designations, or credentials that further the purpose of the accredited investor definition, close quote, and to do that within 18 months and thereafter assess the additional certifications, designations, or credentials every 5 years. The bill would expand investment opportunities for sophisticated investors who may not have the advantage of being born in the right zip code or have generational wealth, and to also provide small, private, startup companies with additional sources of funding for them. The current definition the SEC uses to identify an accredited investor is simply outdated. Today, that definition is solely based on wealth. The ability to participate in a private offering should not be limited to individuals that pass some sort of arbitrary federal government assets test. Instead, the ability to participate should be expanded to include all individuals that demonstrate that they have a sufficient understanding of the offering itself and the risks involved. Mr. Chairman, I think we can all agree that we need to open our capital markets and our financial system wider to more people, not to fewer people. So I urge my colleagues to support this legislation, and with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.